We all have something to be afraid of and the survival instinct to steer clear of whatever scares us. My earliest years were when I had this fear of the uncanny valley and the unknown, what may lurk in the darkness or around the corner until it comes jump scaring me in the face or surprising me from behind. When it came to haunted houses, my poor naive 7 to 8 year old self was easily terrified of the haunted mansion at Disneyland, and I walked through Ripley's Haunted Adventure once in Texas. Even homemade haunted houses during the Halloween season got to me. Over the years since, I've eased up, though suffering a power outage at night when you're alone is still pretty miserable. Growing up, I decided to expand my horizons with different mediums from people who influenced me. I worked my way through classic black and white films, including the horror genre. I was really getting into horror movies, and out of the Universal classic monster films, I like Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the Invisible Man the most. When it comes to theme parks, Universal was the catalyst that helped me get over my timidness as a child and brought out the thrill seeker in me. First, it was with roller coasters when I rode Dueling Dragons a decade ago. Oh, excuse me, Dragon Challenge. It was called that before they abandoned the dueling concept altogether until it finally closed in 2017 and replaced it with Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. The point is, riding Dragon Challenge was what pushed me to jump onto the Incredible Hulk, and years later, the Velocicoaster, conquering my fear of roller coasters. Before I went to Halloween Horror Nights for the first time in 2023, I only had POV videos to watch on YouTube from previous events, so going to that event in person is quite a different experience. They even themed a haunted house after the Dueling Dragons coaster, making my experience come full circle and helped me get over another fear. But what if you wanted to have that type of experience year-round? Well, that's what Universal is doing with a new theme park coming to their Orlando resort, Epic Universe, and their upcoming venue in Las Vegas, Universal Horror Unleashed. They have rebranded from Universal Parks and Resorts to Universal Destinations and Experiences. They want to expand and give Disney a run for its money. Let's talk about the Epic Universe Park first. While I am very much looking forward to experiencing Super Nintendo World for the first time, riding the new dueling coaster Stardust Racers, and seeing what the new Wizarding World expansion has to offer, there is one land I am anticipating the most. And that is Dark Universe.
To a new world of gods and monsters.
What started off as two failed attempts at starting a cinematic universe, the very thing that Universal pioneered in the 1940s, has been revitalized into a themed land, bringing the classic monsters in the forefront. Early concept art of the whole park led many speculating, rumors built up. Even sources like Theme Park Stop on YouTube showed patents, permits, and trademark applications submitted by Universal of what these attractions will be called. So here's the rundown. The whole theme of Epic Universe is cosmic. We see the planets align, and in the central hub area, we see 4 portals open for us. One of them leads into the Dark Universe. It looks cold, drab, the beacon is an electric conductor that's uprooted, and that's how the dark energy is gathered and will pulsate through the land up to the main attraction. I'll get to that in a moment. This place will really stand out, especially at night and inclement weather. When it's not dangerous anyway. So as you enter, you go along a path filled with coffins and tombstones into the Darkmoor village. You have a well at the center spewing red mist, perhaps from the hellish Frankenstein catacombs or the Das Steakhouse restaurant if concept art of it is anything to go by. The art shows artifacts, blood candles, and you get served food by vampire familiars like steaks with wooden stakes on them. I think this fits very well with how vampires are social creatures. You get served and get full enough for their next meal. That is if you don't go down to the catacombs below. If vampires serving you food isn't your forte, you might head over to the Burning Blade Tavern. It's a little strange that Universal would use an iconic scene in cinema history and make it into a place where monster hunters are sharing stories about their latest kills, but it is in tune. They turned this place into their hangout, and it just so happens the windmill erupts into flames several times in an hour. I guess they really want to up themselves after they made the Ukrainian Iron Belly Dragon at Gringotts. For the windmill, they're using 2 different types of fuel in different ratios where it's visible to see both during the day and night. Given by permits they have for special effects, hopefully Universal won't have the Orlando fire departments getting on them about it every time the fire goes off. At the time of recording, we haven't seen any testing with the windmill bursting into flames. I guess they're still planning and doing other tests outside of the area to make sure how they can achieve that. For what you can find in the Darkmoor village, you will find another food stand called DeLacy's, browse and shop at Pretorius' Scientific Oddities, you can go to a makeup artist studio to have yourself made up to look like your favorite classic monster, and you can do character meet and greets with Frankenstein's monster, the bride, the invisible man, Igor, and be regaled with songs about the village played by a violinist. Speaking of music, it is confirmed that famous composer Danny Elfman is going to be doing the music for this land, and if you heard how he mixes dark and whimsy when he worked with Tim Burton on his films, you'll feel completely immersed. Now onto the two main rides. Curse of the Werewolf is a spinning swing launch coaster where you meet the Guild of Mystics and the main gypsy, Mileva. She tells you that you unfortunately bear the curse, so you're put into a wagon and sent out into the woods to escape a pack of werewolves coming in for the kill. We've seen a lot of testing with that one lately, along with the other coasters of Epic Universe. This one in particular has about 3 swings through a dark shed where 2 static werewolf figures reach out at the guests. First when you enter, second to go back, and finally third to make the escape. This is designed to be a family-friendly coaster with a speed of 37 miles per hour for 2 minutes, so I guess it's not too much. There's no upside-down stalls, loops, and inversions, but seeing 2 menacing figures in a dark shed will still get kids and few adults leaving with their pants feeling heavy. There are also plans of having a Phase 2 expansion of the area where they would build a boat ride based on Creature from the Black Lagoon, but no recent word has come for it as of this video. Chances are it's still on the table, and Universal is just waiting for how much money they'll make for the entire park and how popular the Dark Universe area will be. Finally, we have the feature presentation, the marquee attraction. Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. I know what I said about Disney's Haunted Mansion scaring little naive kid me, but Haunted Mansion, eat your heart out. This is what Universal is touting as their scariest ride ever created. Here's the premise. Dr. Victoria Frankenstein, the great-great-granddaughter of Henry Frankenstein from the original film, is conducting experiments where she attempts to tame all of the monsters she's captured. You don't know her moral compass, but she does want to bring good to her family legacy, much like how Henry's son did before. In fact, there's a little Easter egg at the entrance to the manor. The look of the Frankenstein name on the archway is in reference to the film Son of Frankenstein. But we know that family hubris leads to chaos, because when Victoria tries to tame Dracula, the most dangerous monster of all, he breaks free and lets the other monsters loose. He then leads a revolution with his brides, the Wolfman, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera, and more. I don't know if this is true or not, but there is a popular story going around about how Universal was thinking about expanding their other theme park, Islands of Adventure, with the classic monsters when the movie Van Helsing released, and that it would be the first to use the robo-coaster ride system from Kuka. But that didn't come through in the end, as Van Helsing was a critical and financial failure, and what they did instead was retheme most of the Lost Continent area to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, and they used that ride system for Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So for Monsters Unchained, we get the same Kuka robotic arm ride system, only this time, they themed them to look like coffins in early patents, and they have gone through minor changes in concept art, like the spikes being replaced with bolts. You can even see one of the models sitting at Gregory Hall's desk. There's no hood over them, meaning you get a larger view of your surroundings, and it's also because Monsters Unchained doesn't rely on screen media like Forbidden Journey and their dome screen carousels to keep with the illusion. You heard that right, you'll be seeing the Universal monsters fully represented in uncanny animatronic glory. In the behind the scenes look, you get a brief glimpse of the Wolfman obscured in shadow with full fluid motion. They're really keeping the full look a secret, and they tease us with CG animations of the characters. Anyway, the point is, we're going to be seeing them in animatronic form with full physical sets, and whatever screen media they might use will be for backgrounds. Now some might say, oh, this just looks like another Forbidden Journey, but no. Universal is smarter than that. It may look similar, but they are going out of their way to use whatever cutting-edge technology and new innovations they can use to make it fully immersive. They will add 4D elements where you feel characters breathe on you, binaural audio, much like what Disney did before with the extra terrestrial alien encounter at Walt Disney World. Something I wish I could have experienced, but had the misfortune of being on its Stitch retheming. That nauseating chili cheese stench permeates the whole day after you get sprayed with it. It's disgusting. Hopefully this won't have that. So if you liked Alien Encounter, you might like Monsters Unchained. I'm speculating what other 4D elements can be used. Maybe using air effects to feel like you're being attacked by bats, the invisible man poking and tickling your head, sudden movements on the vehicle when it gets jumped on by the Wolfman. Seriously, use your imagination with this. You might have your hair sticking up. Even getting goosebumps will start as you enter the manor. You know how the energy is gathered from the portal and pulsates through the land up to the manor? It is said that the crackle and hum of electricity transformers will make your skin crawl in the queue. Chances are they will have a warning sign at the entrance that most people would ignore, not knowing what they'll expect, much like Alien Encounter. And once you have naive, easily terrified children on the ride, I will be laughing. Not at them. Okay, maybe a little, but more due to the fact that I used to be that naive, easily terrified child. Now imagine this ride becoming a walk-through haunted house for HHN. Truly, it looks like Universal are raising the bar for what could be an intense, immersive experience. Maybe not to the level of Halloween Horror Nights, but it is great to see the Universal monsters fully represented on both fronts and spark further interest into these characters. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how all of this will be achieved when Epic Universe opens in 2025. Now onto Universal Horror Unleashed. As far as we know so far, at the time of making this video, no new haunted houses have been confirmed yet as it's still under construction, a part of an expansion to the Area 15 entertainment complex in Las Vegas. Finally, a big reason for me to want to go to Vegas besides the sights. But it's the first time we get to see the company branch out to other venues, not just theme parks and resorts. This only piece of concept art does show promise of what it will be like. I can imagine the place will stand out at night with eerie red lighting. So if you love Halloween Horror Nights and want it year-round, there you go. And it's all thanks to the same creative team for HHN. If this is anything to go by, we might see the event's previous icons like Jack the Clown, the Caretaker, the Director, and the Storyteller make a comeback. The place will continuously get updated with different haunted houses, so it won't be the same experience every time. Rumors are going about as to what the inside of the building will look like and what we can expect to see. We might get some dedicated to one or all of the HHN icons, some dedicated to the classic monsters, and whatever Blumhouse has come out with. The layout for the building sits at a massive 110,000 square feet with several haunted houses and a central hub area for themed dining, and it's rumored there will be 4 haunted houses along with a tribute store at the exit. Just like Epic Universe, Horror Unleashed is expected to open in 2025. And that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for this video. I thought it would be a fun idea to cover both of these attractions at once in time for Halloween. But I guess new year-round attractions like this have taught me one thing: covering scary stuff can't be exclusive to a single time frame. I'll catch you all later.